be acting like we crash out. That nigga can't crash out.
You know, if you said Cap plenty of times this shit
Yeah,
when security come, y'all just talking. When I see your ass, it was no crash out.
Nope. What up, y'all? Y'all already know who it is, man. Welcome back to another episode of the Brick Brother Podcast. Y'all already know, man, the numbers is going up. Make sure y'all like, share, subscribe to this channel. You know, we're going to be the hottest podcast come around, you know. So, you know, make sure y'all tune in and make sure y'all do what y'all do. Let's go.
All right, perfect. The UFC is coming to Missouri, KC this time. Let's talk about what's going on with that one. I know you'll be popping out for that. Let's give the fans a little intro. What's going on that weekend with you?
No, I got you, man. Be honest with you, we going out to KC, right? It's close to home. Little 3-hour drive, you know what I mean? Easy work. So I was already planning on going to KC to go support my boy Jamal, to watch him fight against Khalil Roundtree, you know what I mean? But, you know, unfortunate things happen, you know what I mean? And that fight got canceled. So I was about to say, man, fuck that. I ain't even going out there now. But shoot, they just put up a hell of a banger. Carlos Prates versus Ian Garry. You know, two guys that's in my my weight division, and I'm already knowing. You know, one guy I was already supposed to fight. One that's been chirping online and shit like that about me. So I'm like, nah, I got to see this work. So we definitely gonna be out there now. But since we gonna be out there in KC, man, we got to do something special for the fans. You know, so right now we're gonna be working with a couple gyms out there in KC. We haven't made it official yet who we gonna work with, but you know, it's gonna be an open workout, open sparring day, you know what I mean? So anybody that wanna come and get that work with Buck, shit, all you gotta do is sign a waiver, bro. Come and get the work with us, you know?
Yes,
so we pretty much is just gonna be working out there, and we just gonna be watching you know, Ian Garry and Carlos Prates go at it, you know? So yeah, it's gonna be a good time in KC.
Yeah, come see Joaquin and KC.
Yeah.
Make sure you sign that waiver if you want to get in there with them.
Let's
do it.
Because at the end of the day, you know, I really feel like it's just a great opportunity, especially for myself, to really give the opportunity for a lot of fans to see what, you know, how we work, right? And the levels of what we work at. Now, I ain't gonna go out there and just be knocking everybody out and nothing like that, but I really want to give, you know, the opportunity for, and especially for younger fighters too, like guys that's amateur, guys that looking to get into the UFC, give them an opportunity to come work with your boy, right? And just show them, like, you know what I'm saying, it's not to the point where it's impossible, but like they can literally go off with that story, you know what I'm saying, that they didn't work with a UFC fighter before. So I really do want to get that opportunity, especially because I'm not, you know, always in Kansas and nothing like that. So it's a great opportunity for me to work with young amateur fighters or young pros or whatever, you know what I mean, and get that work in. So I think it's going to be a great opportunity.
That's awesome. It's always good to give back and give the younger generation the inspiration and just opportunity. I think that's an awesome thing. So hope to see you guys in KC. Let's get into this main card, though. You just spoke about it briefly. Headliner for this one is Ian Garry, who's ranked number 7, and then facing Carlos Prates, who's ranked 13th. We spoke about this briefly before, I believe, but just your thoughts on that matchup. Who you think will win, and would the potential winner intrigue you?
I got you. Be honest with you, they both intrigue me. I like both of those fights. I can really make something happen for both of those. But my thing is, everybody wants the fights so early, right? Like, I know that I'm in a great position to get towards that title, so I'm gonna keep working towards that, but don't get it twisted. Names are on my list, you know, for somebody that I would love to defend my title against. But when it comes to Ian Garry and when it comes to Carlos Prates, bro, it's a 50-50 to me. Like, it really is a toss-up between both of them because they both have their own, you know, weapons that they can use, and, you know, they specialties, what they good at. And then plus, Ian Garry been saying he been working on some new tools and everything, and we seen it from the MVP fight, and we seen it in the Shadcott fight. But, you know, with Carlos Prates, right, and the team that he has and the hot streak that they been on, right, with the fighting nerds, you know, I can see Carlos making some adjustments, right, within the fight. And my man got some deadly weapons, too, with him being a southpaw. So with that being said, man, it's a 50-50 fight, man. And I'm just intrigued just to see the work.
That's cool. Great analysis on that. I agree. I think that there's opportunities for both fighters. I hate to say it like this. I think Prates might be more of a fighter than Ian Garry, but I think Ian Garry is more polished, if that makes sense. I think Prates comes with a more vicious, brutal style, and if Ian Garry is just trying to have a, for lack of better terms, like a point karate match, or just a sparring match. You know how sometimes guys get in the flow and they're just touching a guy and landing shots, but I think Ian Garry will have to give Prates his respect early, and I think Carlos Prates will have to be more calculated. I think if he sits at distance and he tries to play the long range kickboxing game, I think Ian Garry is very good at that. The only person who probably would win that sort of thing is MVP, maybe Wonder Boy. You got to pressure guys like that. So without giving away stuff that I see for both guys,
no, most
we'll probably see both in the future. I'm gonna take Ian Garry by decision, but I don't care who wins in that fight. Both talented
it
guys.
Don't matter. Be honest with you, I tell people all the time, shit, it don't matter who lose, I still pick them up, because it's still two great names, and as much as I say it's 50-50, like Carlos Prates has that opportunity where he can turn off, Ian Garry's TV just like that.
And Ian got some tails too. We talk about them tails. Ian got some tails now.
Like a mug.
I watched a lot of film on Ian Garry. He got some stuff.
With that being said, and him being with that such intelligent team, it's the number one gym right now in the world. Funny enough, right? The fight nerds, they gonna pick up on that.
I agree. They're very smart.
So all Carlos Prates has to do when he's out there is execute whatever game plan they team put together, right? And not saying Ian Garry is not in, because that's the one thing you talk about being poised, right? He's a very intelligent fighter, right? And not just because of the team that he has, but just himself being out there. He makes adjustments on time.
He does,
right?
Smart
like
guy.
Like he should. But sometimes, yet again, as much as we feel like this is an individual sport, it's still a team effort and how we build and how we create stuff, right? And that one thing about Ian Garry, I feel like in my heart, he ain't really still got that team. He kind of a lone soldier out there, right? And he working with Shudo boxing or
shoe box or whatever.
Charles
Dubox, yeah.
Right. Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know how much Charles got respect for his buddy Ian Garry, but at the end of the day, you in their house, Brazil.
Yeah.
And I bet you any amount of money, they already got little dudes in there, man, talking like, you know what I'm saying, and giving little information back and forth, whatever. I mean, it's just a fight business, right?
Trust me.
But regardless, though, right, I feel like Ian Garry just doesn't have that home like he should. And with that being said, it's just like as many adjustments as he could make on his own, I feel like right now he's just fighting a battle on his own, right? And when you put yourself in a position like that, you make the fight a little bit more harder than what it should be. So, a lot of stuff I feel like, Ian Garry going to have to be relying on himself and kind of like trying to figure it out and make adjustments mid-fight, when my personal opinion, that is what makes champions, of course. But my thing is, we don't have to adjust when we already got a perfect plan, to take you out, right? So, but regardless, though, it's going to be a good fight between both of them.
I think so, too. And just briefly, Prates got some, man, if you watch the film and you know what you're looking at, Prates leaves a lot open as well.
100%.
Like I said, I'm not going to say it. I'm going to let my work speak for itself when that day does happen. Until somebody exposes it, then I'll talk about it. But if Ian is doing his homework, there's some things that Ian could expose as well. I think one thing with you fight somebody who's undefeated, you have the opportunity to show people that there's levels to this and that there's things to be desired. And Ian, who's somebody who's fought at an extremely high level, is kind of taking a gamble by fighting a Prates. And, I think it's up to him to show himself. I'm saying as far as in the rankings.
Right, 100%.
To show everyone, I'm here and Prates is there. You give the fight nerds their first loss. I know there's a female fighter that they have. She received a loss, but I think the big 3 or 4 or whatever, they haven't had a loss. So I'm intrigued. I'm excited. I don't really have a horse in the race. Like I said, anybody at any time, we're ready to game plan.
I'm going to see either one of them motherfuckers, to be honest with you.
Right? Yep. Next fight on there is Anthony Smith. He's having his retirement fight against Zhang Ming Ying. If I butcher your name, brother, I'm sorry. He's only had a couple fights in the UFC. Both fights he won by KO, TKO. I guess my question is, do you think this is a good fight for Anthony Smith? And do you think this potentially one too many?
I don't know. I haven't seen Ming fight. I ain't seen my man fight at all. I ain't see Buddy go out there. But obviously with him having 2 finishes within the UFC, that is a big deal. So obviously we dealing with a heavy hitter. Anthony Smith, has shown, when he fight heavy hitters, sometimes it just don't go his way. But tough vet, smart dude, right? If you're not the most intelligent fighter, he will expose that, right? And be able to, kind of secure a win in that nature. But if this being a retirement fight, that's been from his words.
I believe so. Yeah,
okay.
I think that's supposed to be it.
Regardless win or lose, I think that's a good idea. Me personally, I thought he would have been, hung it up. But I feel like, he probably want to go off with a win like anybody else would, right? And with this guy being new into the UFC and only his second fight or going into his third fight, this might be the best look for, Anthony Smith because he had that experience on his side, so.
Yeah, just interesting in my opinion because what typically happens in these type of things, oftentimes it does not go for the veterans ceremonious departure from mixed martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
You think about Shogun Rua. I forget the fighter he fought.
He might have fought Anthony Smith.
That
might be the fight because
no. I know the guy. I can't think his name, but he ended up beating Shogun real bad, and it was in front of everybody. It's like dancing to Shogun. It was like everybody.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about. Yeah,
it was bad.
Yeah. So it's like we every great fighter thinks that they have one more in the tank, and Volkanovski the other week showed everybody that age is a number, and if you do your homework and you're really great, that you could do it. But we've already seen a sort of steady decline from Anthony Smith. I hope he's not being overly greedy. I'm going to trust the fact that Lionheart has done his homework and, he's fought for titles before in big fights, that he's taking this as serious as possible. And I hope that he has the moment that he has, but that he can. I think I'm not super familiar with Ming Yang. I don't even know if I'm saying his name right, to be quite honest with you. But, the young guy tends to win, I think 26 versus 36 or something like that, or 37, something in that realm. But I'm rooting for Anthony Smith. How about that? No personal relationship with either guy, but I root for Anthony Smith. Then we got Giga Chikadze. He will take on David Onama. Giga's ranked number 11. Who you think gets it done in this one?
Who that the Japanese dude you talking about?
Onama's a brother.
Onama?
Yeah, he's. I think he was out of. I think he fought out of KC Krauser gym. You want to look him over?
Oh, that dark skin brother?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Midnight, yeah. Dark skin, yeah. Okay. No, that should be that's a level up in competition.
It is. Who's come up in competition?
Who did he fight to get up to that?
I don't remember.
I don't even know no ranked fighter.
Onama is now on a 4-fight win streak though.
He's on a 9-fight winning streak.
Now he's on a 4-fight win streak.
Out of those 4 names, who he fight?
Garrett Armfield, one of the guys. I don't remember all the names, but I think Giga.
That's a big jump.
Giga was once 6-0, and now Giga's 1-2 in his last 3. So it just kind of makes sense. You got one guy kind of on an upward trajectory. Giga now being 36 years old.
Yeah.
Onama, they're trying to make
you a shot, give you a chance.
They're trying to make new guys because I guess my thing is if Giga can't beat Onama, he's fallen pretty far from fighting the Calvin Caters and so on and so forth.
Right. Because it's been a minute since we've seen Giga too. Okay. Yeah, that's 100. Okay.
So do you think you think Giga has a good chance of this one? You give it to Onama? Any?
I mean, I guess it's a toss up. Onama, like when I think about his fights, I know big, just strong hands, a powerful dude. Gets decent knockouts. But there's nothing really other than that I found like was special about his overall right. With Giga, definitely had the hype, behind him for a while. But, once you get into that pool of, top fighters, you know what I'm saying, you start to get exposed yourself. So, I mean, this could be a close little competitive fight, definitely on the feet, but you got the hands versus the feet, with this one. So, with Giga being known for his kicks, liver shots and stuff like that, I don't know, bro. It should be fun.
No, that's a good take. I just think it's an interesting, perfect matchup because you have Giga, somebody who, like I said, was 6-0 in the UFC now, 1-2 in the last 3. you would think that he should be able to get it done at his best, being Onama is more of a pressure style kind of striker. He does rely on some of his grappling. He fights at a really fast pace sometimes, I feel like, and against a Giga that could get you hurt. We haven't really seen anybody being able, to just pressure Giga without really the technical prowess. So I think this will tell us a lot about where Giga Chikadze fits at featherweight, if he's still amongst the contenders. Last video we mentioned some of the guys like Diego Lopez, Mosar Ivoyev. We'll see if he belongs in those crop of names, him and maybe a Brian Ortega or something. But this will do a lot to kind of clip the division. We need new young guys to fill those spots
100%.
So I don't have a horse in the race. I guess I'll take Giga.
Okay.
My opinion, this is probably potential for fight of the night. We have Michel Pereira fighting Abus Magomedov. What are your expectations for this fight? Do you see this?
I think it's a good. I think it's a good fight. Honestly, you said you think it could be a fight of the night.
Yeah, I do. The only reason I do, I think Michel Pereira is one of those dudes who just kind of makes guys fight. Right? He's not usually in a boring fight.
No, that's on it.
So I think Abus kind of like to thumb things a little bit too. We've seen him try to.
This is a boo or a bus?
A bus.
Yeah, them two different niggas.
No. A bus.
I guess. I was supposed to fight a bus. Yeah. Back in the day. Yeah. He didn't want to fight though.
That's the one that Strickland
fought.
Yeah. And he likes to strike a little bit.
He do, but one thing that Strickland did show, that boy like to break, bro. But I think a bus came back with a good little win against somebody. Can't remember their name, but he had a good win, good finish, I believe. But Michel Pereira, man, that boy, I understand what you say, like, he makes and force guys to fight, but
a bus he's on a 2-fight win streak.
That's cool. But I can see Michel Pereira putting him out.
I can see it too.
I can see him putting him out, bro.
I think either way, somebody's probably getting finished, and I think it's gonna be exciting. I think who will win? The fans probably number one. I think it's the perfect fight for this KC card. Just kind of a wild card. We don't really know. We've only seen a bus in a very small amount of UFC fights, 3 of them, I believe. And then we've seen Michel Pereira always be entertaining. Even if he's on the losing side, he's trying to do something flashy, trying to do something big. Even the walkout for him is going to be entertaining. You know what I mean?
Everything.
So,
everything will show.
So I'm very interested in that fight. You don't have any predictions on who wins or how?
I mean, shit, unless I was getting paid by my bookie or DraftKings, I'll give you an answer. But regardless, if I was to go with a winner, it'd be Michel Pereira. For
Same.
Sure.
I see.
I can see a major finish. I can see just a crazy ass finish from Michel Pereira. You know what I'm saying? But I think a buzz, he gonna slow down. It's gonna be a good first round. You know what I'm saying, between both of them. But the buzz just gonna get just wore out, and Michel gonna do a backflip or some shit, bro, and kick that nigga. And, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be fight over, something like that.
Yeah, hit one of them video game combinations where you mashing the buttons.
Yeah,
you just hit X, Y, Z, D, D, and then all of a sudden you knock somebody out.
Yeah,
one of them.
Like you're not even putting a combo together. You just hitting all the random ass buttons, bro. That nigga doing cartwheels, running out the cage. Bro. Yeah, Michel different, bro. I don't know if you saw it, but like that boy strong as hell too. My man deadlift like 500.
I can believe it.
For reps though. I'm like, oh yeah, you different. Say you different, bro.
He's one of the more interesting guys on the UFC roster, in my opinion. I think that in times he's, you talked about Chandler in a previous video, kind of fighting for the fans to make it an exciting fight. But he's really technical. He's actually very good at fighting. He just sometimes opens up in a way to make a show for fans. But when he just fights straight down the line, doesn't waste a bunch of energy, man, he's good.
That part right there. I think it's that, and if he is able to condition himself to fight the way he fights, that boy would be a problem, bro.
Yeah, because, he looked great to that Fluffy fight, and obviously we seen Fluffy doing it to everybody.
100%, right?
So.
And Fluffy got fucking cardio, like, I don't know, that's just crazy how he can work like that, but you look like that is crazy, like, so I didn't even expect that.
Don't look like he can finish a 5K, but he can do 25 minutes on you.
100%.
Good for him, man.
Yeah. But I think that's the only thing Michel Pereira is missing is that part.
That cardio?
The cardio. I think everything else, if he just had that cardio part, bro, but,
World champ.
Yeah, 100%. So, yeah.
I agree. We got Nicholas Dalby versus Randy Brown. Any prediction on this one? This one intrigue you at all?
Did Randy Brown just lose? Brian Battles, right?
No, he can't. I think he's on a 2-fight win streak.
He on a 2-fight win.
I'm a Google it.
I think he just lost to
So
Brian Battles.
He lost to Brian a while ago.
I know, but I think that was his last loss. G.
Oh yeah, that was his last loss. His last he beat Aleski I always fuck up his name. Dos Santos.
Yeah.
He beat him and then he beat
he knocked out
Muslim Selikov.
Yeah, the Kung Fu nigga.
Wushu.
Yeah. I think this is a good fight for Randy Brown. Man, I feel sorry for this boy because, like, I thought Randy Brown a long time ago would have made his ass into the, got into, at least, top 15, like, touching 15, 14, but just never happened. But names like, who you just said, like Nicholas Dalby, Dolby, whatever, how you say his name. I think that's a perfect stylistic matchup for Randy, bro, to do what he need to do. So I'm definitely going with Randy on that one. I
agree. I think Randy Brown is at a phase of his career where he's on the upside, and Dalby just getting a little bit older. He's a crafty veteran, really good striker. I just think with Randy Brown's length and his jiu-jitsu, he has a lot of problems he could offer Nicholas Dalby. But as you said before, Randy Brown is one person I feel like you get a mixed bag. You never know what you're going to get with him. Sometimes he looks like he could be on the cusp of being a world-class contender, and other times he looks like he belongs to be fighting early in the prelims. So there's not a diss to him. I think he has a lot of potential. It's just time for him to string some consistent performances and get to the next place. Kind of define whether he wants to be more the gatekeeper role or be one of those real contenders. And I think that this is the perfect opportunity to show that. 100%. The Brian Battle fight didn't do him any. That was when Brian missed all that weight and this and that. I think that kind of got to him and played in his head a little bit. And obviously that is a bit of an advantage as well. I think his best days are still ahead of him. I take Randy Brown by I say TKO on that one. And then this one is really interesting to me as well. We have Ikram Aliskerov versus Andre Muniz.
Oh, that's my boy Andre.
Yeah.
Who the other dude, though?
Ikram.
Ikram.
I'll show you Ikram right here.
Damn,
he had a lot of hype on him, too. He ended up fighting Robert Whitaker. He's the one Whitaker.
Oh, that's the one that got spun around?
Yeah.
That should be a good one, though.
Yeah,
that should be a good fight.
That's going to be a good fight.
Yeah, that's a hard one to say. But how you always say it, two grapplers turns to fucking strikers that night.
Crazy.
So yeah, I can see that happen. I don't know, that's a hard one. I would like to go with Andre, but that was Ikram's last fight against Robert Whitaker, right?
No. He's fought since then.
He fought since then?
Yeah.
He had to get him a little dub though.
No, that was his last. Damn, that was his.
Oh yeah, them Dagestani boys, they be taking their time, especially after the loss. They got to get right with Allah. Yeah.
So he's 1-1 in the UFC. Then he beat Warley Alves, and then lost to Robert Whitaker.
I can't be mad at him with that. Like that was your second fight.
Yeah,
he can't be mad at it. He's still a great fighter. So no, that's a tough one, but a good matchup though. Good matchup.
It's intriguing only because Muniz was just on such a tear. 6-0 in the UFC at one point in time.
Crazy.
Now he's 1-2 in his last 3 fights.
Got finished, didn't he?
I believe so.
Brandon Allen finished him.
Yeah, Brandon Allen finished him. He lost to did he get submitted by what's his name? Tall guy, really good at he ended up breaking Jamal's arm.
Oh, Paul Craig.
Paul Craig, there we go. I think he ended up getting finished by him too, but I think it's gonna be a good matchup. Very interesting just because Muniz had all that promise and hype. I remember when you would fight at 185 and we were like, oh man, that'd be a good fight. We were kind of strategizing game plan 100%. For that one. And somewhat of a fall from grace. I forgot he was fighting in the UFC. I didn't know what happened to him. I'm not gonna lie. So I've been intrigued. This is a perfect opportunity for him to reassert himself and remind fans of the guy who was finishing everybody and a problem in the middleweight division. Yeah. His jiu-jitsu is as good as it comes. He's solid on the feet. Hopefully he's filled those gaps and holes and has prepared himself. Because I think Ikram, as you said, that's a really tough fight in your second UFC fight. To fight Robert Whitaker, only having 16 fights. Looking back on
don't get it twisted. That was a short notice, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I wouldn't want that. So you think Muniz will straight back into form, or you think this is a coming out party for Ikram?
It could be a coming out party for Ikram. And I know that officially, for sure, now that he didn't took that time off, that he definitely got himself prepared and ready for whatever fighter that's out there. Muniz, though, he's coming off for 2 back-to-back losses, right?
Believe so.
Between the people that we just talked about, Brandon Allen and Paul Craig. So it's the same thing with him. Being motivated to try to get a win. So I don't know, bro. It's really a toss up because both of these guys are very talented. They strong in both they fields when it comes to the grappling. So I can really see both guys being in a situation where they want to test themselves, prove themselves, man, and try to do a little striking bout, right? And we see who wins that. So
yeah, I don't know. I don't really have a great prediction because we haven't seen a lot of Ikram, and and then Muniz. It's been forever since we've seen him. And in the 6 fights previous, beating guys like Jinyu Park and whoever, he looked amazing, looked great. And then in the last couple fights, Paul Craig's a name we thought he probably should have a lot of success against. And then Brendan Allen's tough for anybody on the roster. So we really don't know what we're going to see. I think if Muniz is able to use his jiu-jitsu, he's going to be looking great. But as you said before, those 2 grapplers oftentimes turn into strikers. So it's anybody's game. I say flip a coin on this one. Count me out. Also, just want to give a shout out to Evan Elder. He's also
Evan Elder. I didn't know he was on the card.
I believe so. Let me make sure I didn't just lie. Yep, Evan Elder's on the card. Yeah, he's on the prelims fighting Ahmed Hassanzadeh.
Lord Jesus,
Jesus
boy.
Christ.
I got no vowels in this shit.
Hassanzadeh. No, it's all vowels. Look at it. No disrespect. I'm sure you're a great fighter.
He said, "Hey, no but vowels."
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
But yeah, just want to
let's go. I haven't seen Buddy ever.
Never. I've never. I think this might. Well, I don't know if this is first or not. Let's take a look. Yeah, this is
first fight.
Yeah, Ahmed. This is his first fight in the UFC.
Okay.
But
yeah, shout out to Ev, man. Go get it.
Quick shout out to Ev. He had a birthday recently. Happy birthday. Hopefully you go ahead and continue this great momentum that you're on and have a great performance. But that's pretty much it for that I see. And getting to fight in your home state too, which is dope. Missouri's own Evan Elder. That's pretty much it as far as that card. I guess. Do you feel like this card is still strong enough in its own without that Khalil Roundtree and Jamal Hill fight?
That's debatable because Jamal Hill, massive name, man. Khalil Roundtree, massive names, and even though Carlos Prates and Ian Garry both are rising stars within the welterweight division, they don't match up with Jamal and Khalil Roundtree. But at the end of the day, I think it's still gonna be an amazing card. I think Casey should be excited. For the fights that's
100%.
gonna be on out there because at the end of the day, everybody just want to see a banger. Right? It don't even matter if we don't really are familiar with the names or familiar with the background story or nothing like that. As long as we go out there and as fans, even myself, going out there and being a fan and being a spectator, I just want to see a good fight. And I surely believe that all the fights that we just listed, we're going to get exactly what we want. And those are bangers that we're looking for.
100%. You got Matt Schnell, Jimmy Flick on there too. Both of them, both of them live by a sword, die by the sword. They're finish people or get finished. I think that's going to be a great fight. Don't, have a problem with either person winning, but that's going to be entertaining. You have Paulie Viana also on the card too. So, shaping up to be a very entertaining night of fights. With that being said, this is the second time UFC has been here kind of recently. What do you feel like the UFC KC card stacks up against the UFC St. Louis card back in May?
It's going to be hard to tell, right? Because St. Louis showed out, boy. I'm talking about not only did we sell out the arena, right? But we broke the gate that night, right? When I went out there, bro, they showed me so much love, man. It still gives me goosebumps to this day, bro. You know what I mean? Just the cheers and, the love and the support, right? That everybody showed me while I was out there fighting. But I'm definitely intrigued to see what KC has to bring because, KC is big and, on their sports too.
Big time.
Especially with, the Chiefs and everything of that nature. So for us to have, mixed martial arts, come back to Missouri, right, to go to Kansas City, man, and give us another opportunity to kind of show out again. Yeah, bro, I'm intrigued to see it. And you already know that we're going to be out there to watch. So
for sure. The only reason why I would push, which obviously the KC card looks, really good. I think
Yeah.
these fighters have a great opportunity to make a name for some of the ones who, KC's probably never seen fight before. There's a bunch of household names on there, guys, if you watch MMA. But, not as star-studded as what you saw for 314, obviously. But you have an opportunity. Everybody started out as somebody who fans really weren't familiar with. Most people don't have that built-in fan base before they get to prominence and before they get to the UFC. So with that being said, they have a great opportunity. But the reason why I thought UFC, the card that we had back in May, almost a year ago now, crazy. I think I said 6 months ago. But how many St. Louis fighters we had on there? You had we had Sean Woodson, you had Charles Johnson.
Yeah, a lot, bro.
We had a bunch. I think, did Mike fight on that card too?
Yep, Mike did fight on
that card. He was supposed to. I think he ended up.
He was supposed to fight, but yeah, something
But it was just a special night just to see St. Louis show up and show out, and just how electric that card was. But larger point to that,
everybody in St. Louis won.
Yeah,
100%.
That
shit was crazy.
Beautiful night.
Yep.
And just happy to see Missouri getting some UFC cards. We got like one or two here and there.
Yeah.
But I'm just hoping it becomes more of a thing because I think there's a great fight market here. Especially you mentioned KC, what they do for their, they go hard for the Royals, they go hard for the Chiefs, they go hard for Sporting KC. So I think it's a great opportunity. Also, moving forward, it's time for a little debate.
A little crash out.
No, we can get to that.
Oh, my bad.
No, that's gonna be great. I think that's gonna be more. We probably gonna see a lot of things the right way. But this is a fun debate. Recently, I heard Joe Rogan say that featherweight might be the deepest division in all weight classes in the UFC. Well, let's rank them. We got plenty of time on our hands. Let's rank the best divisions, starting from...
Niggas 8 o'clock, nigga. We got
it.
We got 5 minutes. That nigga like, hey, wrap that shit up.
Yeah, we got 30.
No, I'm fucking with you, bro.
But going from strongest to weakest division. So we start...
Strongest division.
Yeah, you go ahead. You already know the name of the weight classes.
Of course.
We can debate.
Am I adding the women's weight class?
No, just the males.
Just the males.
Because I think it makes it more difficult.
I think you got to, add the females.
We can do that. That's another video. It just makes it more difficult.
I got you. Anyways, though, so from the deepest division, and I'm talking about just full of killers, and we just talking about like overall, just top 15, you know what I'm saying, just full of whoever. I got to get to my boys, the welterweights, right? 170, I think, is definitely a problem right now because we got fresh names. You got guys, coming up into the rankings, bro, undefeated, bro. You know what I'm saying? Knocking motherfuckers out, bro. And now you don't have all those same, names that's been up there for the longest time, like the Gilbert Burns, like the Kobe Covington, like the Usman and stuff like that. You can literally see them getting filtered out. And now you see this new wave. So 170, I'm definitely going to have to make us number one. At the number 2 spot, I give it to the featherweights. Featherweights deep, too. They got a lot of good, names coming up now, too, as well, doing their thing. You just seen Volk, right? Just got a young buck up out of there, but don't get it twisted. You still got a lot of young guys, coming up there and trying to prove themselves. Right after that, I give it to 155. And the reason why I say 155 is because right now they still got those old heads up there, You seen what Patty did to Michael Chandler, but don't get it twisted. I feel like, some guys in the 155 division, they could probably give, a person like Justin Gaethje or DP or Charles Oliveira, you know what I'm saying, a run for their money, you know what I mean? But you can't never, tell unless you actually get to that point to do so. But I make 155 my third spot. 185. Yeah, I say 185 right after that. And me be like, nigga, where the flyweights at? I ain't gonna lie to you, flyweights is cool, but I just can't respect niggas that can't knock each other out. I can't, bro. So I ain't gonna lie to you. They gonna be in the back. So y'all just gotta wait on that flyweights. So 185.
We got 2 more.
I know I got 2 more. 205 heavyweight, and y'all niggas gonna be mad. Yeah, that flyweight.
But you skipped bantam though.
No, I did 135.
Yeah. You said welterweight.
Yeah, I said welterweight.
Featherweight.
Featherweight is 145. My bad.
Yeah.
So bantamweight is right there with him. So I got 170. Actually, crazy enough, let me put the bantamweights 135. Cause bantamweights still be knocking shit out. They still be knocking shit out. And then 145, 155, 185, 205, heavyweight, flyweights.
I respect it. I'm finna
run through.
I gotta dismantle this a little bit. First on my list is a toss up for me between featherweight and bantamweight. To me, those are the two deepest divisions. The way I look at this is, and we can all use whatever logic we want, but if you were a fighter and you could be any size, and you would think, what's the hardest to get the job done due to everybody's skills as a mixed martial artist, guys who can put guys away, guys who can submit guys who can wrestle, I think there's only two clear answers. Now, if I go to a weight division like heavyweight, sometimes you get people who are good at one thing. Sometimes they're having good strikers that just got power. So they're at the bottom. Clearly.
Sometimes, hey, bro, power though, bro. Like
I know
you to send somebody to the king, bro. That's a lot.
That's a hell of a thing. But my point being is, I believe that John Jones only moved to heavyweight because he saw very tough up and comers coming, and he was struggling with likes of the name, not struggling, but not having his great performances like we know him to have against, earlier against DC and Gustafsson and those guys, and starting to struggle guys like Dominic Reyes, Anthony Smith, Thiago Santos. We saw that started to happen, and he said, I could gain some weight, and I could probably dominate because none of them can wrestle. You have Curtis Blades, Jailton Almeida, and then what's my guy named Tom Aspinall. It's like the three heavyweights who can wrestle at a high level. Derek Lewis can't grapple. You have Jairzinho Rosenstrike can't grapple. You have Volk. Most of them can't.
And I ain't gonna, because obviously you still got a whole list of, to give. But don't forget, he only moved up once a nigga left. And that's Francis Ngannou, who could have took his ass to the king. So
Francis one of God's special people though. That's different. He's just a little different.
But anyways, go ahead with your list.
I like that. So my point, I'm putting heavyweight in the back. But we're gonna start top. So I'm going to say featherweight first. I think Volkanovski kind of showed the level that featherweight has and why you saw him hold his belt for so long. If I just think about the names at featherweight, probably the toughest. Everybody's good at everything there. You have guys, all the top of the crop, good strikers, good at jiu-jitsu, really well-rounded, good cardio, all of them. Good power, they'll spin you. And then I would go bantamweight. Same sort of equation. It's just very, very tough. You got Corey Sandhagen, Merab Darvishvili. You got Davison Figueiredo who moved up. You got Sean O'Malley. Like, that's a real Umar Nurmagomedov. Very, very tough division. You had Henry Cejudo. You have Song Yadong. You have all these great guys. Power, cardio, grappling. To be a champion there. Oh, Piotr Yan. I forgot him. Man, a lot of scary guys there. Then number 3, I'm going to go welterweight. I think welterweight is vastly improved. We're seeing a changing of the guard. The American wrestler who's just going to take you down, that's kind of phased out a little bit. We're seeing the Usmans and the Kobe Covingtons kind of go to the back burner, and we have a bunch of exciting up-and-comers and guys with more aggressive styles like yourself, Prates, Ian Garry, more striker-based, and it's become a lot more interesting. They've evolved. The wrestling defense is starting to get better. Jiu-jitsu, not necessarily always at the highest level for the welterweights, but I think you're seeing an evolution of guys who are getting more well-rounded. Then for 155, I have that as number 4. I think the top is as tough as it gets, but Michael Chandler, he made the 55s look really bad. He made the lightweights look horrible. If you think about how somebody like that could be in the top 5, I'm just saying, and show no strength whatsoever, and you could kind of hang around. I think there's just a major discrepancy when you look at the best guys at 155 and then some of the guys who are still there as well. I think that top 15 especially, it gets a little shakier as you get up. Like when you mentioned Islam being a standout and being as great as he is. Yeah. And you see Khabib be able to hold that belt, then Islam just kind of tag in and be able to hold the belt. Before we saw a lot more discrepancy in the talent levels at 155, but it's really been 3 guys, him, Oliveira, and Khabib.
100%.
So for me, they're next. Then I'm going to go straight in order. We got middleweight. getting better. I like what middleweight is doing now. But if you think about guys being well-rounded, not that many well-rounded guys, in my opinion. Super well-rounded.
Mm-hmm.
You got like Brendan Allen. Israel Adesanya was mainly just a striker and the best guy in the division. Usually just wrestling defense. Didn't really have to use great jiu-jitsu, good wrestling. You see guys in other divisions who are champions have to do everything. That's how I really based this list. So I don't really see many middleweight contenders do everything great.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe good strikers, maybe good wrestler, good jiu-jitsu. I think Kaio's kind of changing the guard. Some of the new guys are kind of coming up and changing that. And then 205, I think that and heavyweight, you can just flip a coin. Two weakest divisions. I talked about Dominic Reyes recently. The reason why he has a great chance to get a title, ain't nobody there. 3 fights. Think about being in a weight class where 3 fights just pushing you up for a title shot. How many wins you got consecutively?
Right,
How many wins did Bilal have?
Right.
How many wins did Leon get? How many wins did Usman get? You get 3 wins, and you, as a heavyweight, you a contender. You get 3 wins as a light heavyweight, you a contender. If you're a bantamweight, you're a featherweight, you got to win a bunch of fights. At 55, it's a round robin. They win 2 fights, lose 1, then they get a title shot. So for me, I go light heavyweight and then heavyweight. When you got a guy, obviously I know John Jones is a GOAT for many people. When you have somebody who could just skip the top of the list and play games like that, and he probably could do that with everybody except Tom Aspinall, probably. Yeah. That's the crazy part. So heavyweight's definitely the weakest.
Mm-hmm. And that's crazy to say that, because I say the only reason, and I do agree with you with all those things, like, you know what I mean, kind of like just seeing the whole board on just what everybody can do within the division, right? Because if you have, you know, holes or weaknesses in certain things, right, people can exploit that, right? And you see a lot of guys, you know, within, you know, the heavyweight division, you already listed those names, like that, the only high-level wrestlers that you got is 3 of them. And if you avoid that 3, you can probably take out everybody, right? You know what I mean, type shit. But regardless, though, the only reason why those weight classes are so dangerous,
the power,
is because of that power alone.
Yeah.
That's it, because you can be winning the fight the whole time. Curtis Blaydes versus Derrick Lewis, right? I mean, controlling the fight, dominate, 1 punch. And then murder, she wrote.
Heavyweight?
Yeah.
Middleweight?
Yeah.
Light heavyweight, worse for your health. But as far as deep,
I get, yeah. That's on it.
That pretty girl at the pool, shallow like her. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Ain't no water in that pool. Yeah. So my thing, why I say that is, if you're just looking at like depth, I can't see any.
I give you that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, you know, I think welterweight is getting there, but you had the same thing what you was pissed about. You had the same 3 people kind of playing tag who's in with each other.
Mm-hmm.
Now we finally seeing stuff shake up, so that's my only pushback on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool.
Oh, where you put the flyweights, nigga? I ain't heard it.
Oh, I didn't say flyweights.
Yeah.
Damn.
Last 2.
Yeah. No, they're not last. I'll put damn, that's fucked up. Charles, we sorry, bro. I'll put flyweights after middleweights. I'll put them above. Their fight IQ is amazing.
Yes.
They're masterful. They're great at it.
Their depth is unbelievable.
But the reason why I can't say it's the deepest, because if you're really good, if you're like the best flyweight, they just beat everybody. I can't say it's depth. Give me 5 names at flyweight.
Give you 5 names at flyweight? Got my nigga Charles. Pantoja. Kai Akasura, whatever, how you ever say his name. Kai France.
Who's the other one you just said?
Kaka, Doodle nigga.
Okay.
You know who I'm talking about from Risen. From Risen, they just signed.
Oh, you talking about the dude?
You know who I'm talking about. You know who I'm talking about.
One more.
Yep, one more. Oh yeah. The nigga that be knocking everybody out. Is the only one that be knocking motherfuckers out. Shit, what's his name? He be saying the F word, everything. Not
Starboy. You talking about? You talking about my guy? Can't think of his name right now.
Yeah, Manel
Cop.
Yeah. So
okay,
there you go.
That's cool. Good point.
Mm-hmm.
My point being is name 5 more.
Yeah, I can do it.
And then name 5 more.
That's
the reason why I can't call them deep is because it's very star driven. The best flyweights are amazing, and all of them are actually very good.
But let me pause you on that. You can make that for any weight class though. Damn near, yes you could. Yes you could, bro. If we say top 5 in all these weight classes, people could probably do that. But then when you ask for 10, 15, I think it get hard. That's one thing that the UFC is struggling with is the star base. You know, like right now they literally are talking about and speaking about this and not trying to, get off a topic or nothing, but like they finna get rid of the pay-per-views. And if you think about any other business, like why would they do that? The only reason why they would do that is because literally there are no quote-unquote stars in the UFC, right? So a lot of people ain't buying in on the pay-per-view or whatever, they streaming, however, whatever, you know what I'm saying? They coming up with the reason why they doing this, but I feel like that's you can rank that in all divisions, bro. You know what I mean? You could probably name the top 5 in every little division, but once you get, further than that, bro, ain't really no big names that you can really think of. Now, back in the day, right? And we always go, with welterweight and stuff like that, bro. Names after names after names after names, bro. It ain't the same.
All right, so let's build on this, right? Because I do agree with you. I'll try another point. What weight classes could you take the old gen and then drop them in today? Which ones would struggle and which ones would succeed? I think you could take some old heavyweights from 10 years ago, and they got a chance to be contenders. I'm not saying they're going to beat Tom Aspinall and John Jones, but they fit in the mix. Cain Velasquez, JDS, all them guys, if they're young, healthy, right back in the mix.
I think it's easier for...
You just take a random... Check Congo. I think he'd be fine. I'm not saying he would be a world beater. What I'm saying is...
I get exactly what you're saying.
Still compete. The 205 weight class, I already said this before. I feel like the old gym was kind of better than the new crowd. I feel like the John Joneses, your DCs, your Anthony Rumble Johnsons, Gustafsons, better than the new class. But then when you take older weight class, you take the weight class I mentioned, I can't just drop anybody, at featherweight. I can't do that. I can't just drop anybody at lightweight and they coming back. I think it's just the game has moved real far above. Featherweight, some of the guys that Jose Aldo fought, I think Jose stands alone. A lot of them wouldn't be as, up there. I think when you see the Volkanovskis, you see the Max Holloways, you see those guys, most of the old generation, it's leaps and bounds above where they've come from. 55, I think some 55s can kind of mix in. Now we're kind of getting shaky.
Right. I mean, shit, you still got the old gen in that bitch. 100% though.
Okay, right?
So no, but star base right now.
But ain't no,
struggling. Yeah.
All right.
That it? Oh, now actually, bro, let's do that crash.
Yeah, no, that's next. So we gonna have some fun with this one, man.
Yeah.
I have a question. Who would you say are the top 5 crash out kings? Give your list of the 5 fighters who are actually about that life.
And when you talking about like crash out, you talking about just within the cage, or you talking about just overall? Like what we talking about?
Nah, you know how certain people get the the reputation for being a boogeyman. People don't want to see them, or also the fact that if it's beef between you and this person, them and whatever, they gonna crash out.
Tom and Jerry is on site.
Yeah. They want that smoke.
I got you. Top 5. Woo! Top 5. Nigga, about that life, nigga. It's on site. Crazy enough, right? And I don't know if Marab be beefing with guys within the actual fight business, right? Where he'll pop off on you. But my dude be ready to pop off on the fans, bro. That's a crash out. Yeah. That's a crash out king. So my number 1 spot definitely got to go to my man Marab. I mean, because just not that long ago, my man was about to get busy with a dude on kick. And I'm talking about not like for play. I'm talking about like, nigga, what's good? Like,
yeah. When I saw him climbing the crowd like that.
You heard me? Like, no, crash out king is... Nah, he definitely number 1. For the number 2 spot, crash out king. Armin. Got to give it to Armin. Don't forget, Armin literally... was suspended, you know what I'm saying? Or like had like a whatever situation, right? He punched, punched the
I saw
punched the fan. He tried to get busy with
the fan didn't even
try to get busy with Bobby.
Yep.
Right. Backstage. So I say Armin. Number 2, crash out king.
And this could be from any era too.
Oh, this can be from any era though.
Any era. You say anybody. But your list is good so far.
No. Okay, so we got Rob, Armin. No, Kev be acting like he a crash out. That nigga Kev ain't no crash out. Yeah.
No offense, you see Kev plenty of times. This shit happen. When security come, y'all just talking. When I see your ass, it was no crash out.
No, damn, that's a good one, bro. if we say any era, Vanderlei, right? About to crash out on the Ultimate Fighter, dog. You know what I'm saying? Chill, like, nigga, make a move, bro. Make a move. Crash out Vanderlei Silva. Because he done had plenty of situations outside and inside the ring and cage. That's my third spot. Got two more. That's a good one, bro. Come on, think. Ooh, I'm tripping. Mayhem.
Yeah,
Mayhem. Forgot about that dude. Definitely Crash Out King. Anytime you create a show, you know what I'm saying? That bully beat down and all that shit, bro, and you get busy with the little contestant that you got on there, crazy work. So definitely Mayhem on there. That's my number 4 spot. And the number five, where we going? Nick Diaz. My top 5 crash outs.
I like that.
Yep. So we got Marab, Armin, Vanderlei Silva, Mayhem, Nick Diaz. That's a good list.
Hell of a list.
Mm-hmm.
We share a couple.
Okay.
Number 1 on my list is Charles Crazy Horse Bennett. If y'all don't know who that is, you gotta look it up. Fight before a fight after a fight, fight the fans. Buddy was ready to crash out at anybody, any place. Crazy. Number 2. Let me find one that's different. Oh, arguably could be number 1. John Jones. John Jones fight DC.
Hold on. The only reason why I gotta pause you that John Jones ain't never crashed out on nobody.
What are you talking about? He hit the lady in the car. What are you talking about? My guy crashed out for real. What are you talking about? You didn't see him never crash out? You just gonna act like that didn't happen?
That is true. Ran back to the scene and everything.
John Jones is an instant person because he'd help a lady who finna get pickpocketed, but then also just crash out on anybody for any given reason. Yeah.
That's a good one.
So he's definitely a crash out.
Oh, definitely a crash out.
Definitely a crash out king. I'm going to give it to Nick Diaz. Well, you say the Scrap Pack in general, all of them. The way they did Jason Mayhem Miller on TV was crazy. Hey, man, you think we could possibly...
Got busy with Buddy.
Yeah, that's crazy. Who else? So that's 3 of them. Vanderlei. I got to throw him in there because you already know the story with him, Crazy Horse Bennett. They fought backstage, which is...
He choked Buddy clean out, bro. That shit was crazy work. And Crazy Horse was still trying to fight after he woke up. Fucking don't know where he at. Yeah. Yup.
And then I'll give it to Masvidal only for one reason. When he swung on Leon, that shit was just crazy. We really ain't seen nobody do that on TV. I remember when that car happened, it was like live on TV, and he just crashed out like that. They thought it was gonna be a funny like back and forth. Oh, what do you guys think about fighting?
That boy said, "Bing, bing."
So I give it to Masvidal as well. That's my top 5.
I like that list. That's a great list, bro. Yeah, Crash Out Kings, man. Let's go.
I mean, and we could also do the opposite, but we could say that, you know, who's the fake Crash Out Kings? You know what I mean?
Oh, Kev, definitely my number 1. 45-70 looking ass. Yeah, so fake Crash Out Kings. Fake Crash Out
We just
Kings.
do a couple names. We
Yeah. We probably do a little top 3. Kev on my number 1 spot. Who be always faking? Who always be faking? And it's sad, bro. It be some brothers that be out here faking, bro. It be some brothers out here faking. I ain't trying to do them like that, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't trying to do them niggas like that. I just give it to Kev, bro.
I like that.
Now that I'm thinking about it, bro, I just give it to Kev, bro. Because if I realistically give some names, bro, I'm gonna ruin some relationships, dog. I'm just leave it alone.
I get it.
Yeah.
We could throw, and I don't like talking shit about old people, but Kobe act like he ready to crash out. He played character. I gotta call him a fake crash out king.
But see, people know that though. I
yeah,
got you.
But
That's 100. But you right though. You right
do
though.
It afterwards.
Yeah, that's 100%.
Which is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You got a couple in your weight class. I ain't gonna say everybody's name, but you got a couple who act like they finna do that. Funny enough, I'm gonna throw Nate Diaz on there.
Nate Diaz.
I feel like he had a lot of almost crash outs. And you know who I should have threw on my list? Conor McGregor. He flew on.
Oh yeah, we tripping.
I gotta take.
Take John Jones off.
No, I'm taking Jorge Masvidal off. Boom, you gone. To fly.
No. You right.
to fly from another country and cause real damage and do all that just because your buddy got smacked. Oh yeah, he easily number one on my list.
No,
yeah. We're gonna put Conor number one.
Yeah, Conor definitely fucking number one. Now that you bring that up, that's the ultimate crash out.
Yeah, that should.
Oh hell yeah, let's go.
Thank you for watching another episode of Brick Brothers Podcast. Please like, share, subscribe, be a brick.